The FemaleDatingStrategy.com has a blog. Yes, it's horrible. Yes, we're going to look at the cringe. Protective eyewear is recommended. HBR Talk with Hannah Wallen. Female dating strategy blogger Astria, don't ask, I have no idea, has a message for women. Yes, ladies, you can be raped and not realize it until weeks later. I saw the headline and thought, oh geez, this is going to be an article about a woman finding out she's been sexually assaulted while passed out drunk at a party or something. Had it been that, it would have at least made some sense. Instead, the writer decided to take a short, directionless voyage on the no-agent sea, launched from the sandy beaches of Femitopia by the concept of gray rape. The first problem I see with her post is that she didn't define or explain anything about that concept, so I will endeavor to the best of my ability to do that. I first encountered the term gray rape on a now-defunct social media site called Gather.com, where a group of users, including myself, ended up debating a Cosmopolitan magazine article another user had highlighted on her profile. In it, the writer described a scenario in which two college students, Alicia and Kevin, went on a platonic date, then back to his room. There, Alicia proceeded to send Kevin some horribly mixed signals, telling him she wasn't going to have sex with him, but then making out with him anyway. According to the story, a few minutes into that, he pushed her down, climbed on top of her, and had sex with her. She verbally protested and wasn't responsive, but also didn't fight, just tensed up and endured the experience. Afterward, she theorized that her protests might have been too quiet for him to hear. Later, according to the article, she wasn't sure if her experience could be viewed as rape. The argument on Gather wasn't about that question, but whether or not there needed to be a term to separate it from just rape. It was because of that social acceptance of the writer's narrative that I was lambasted as a rape apologist for pointing out that the choice to make out, engaging essentially in foreplay, would have been a very confusing signal for a guy she'd just said no to. In doing so, she non-verbally communicated to him that she had changed her mind. And then, she didn't correct that by verbally communicating otherwise unless she made her protest loud enough for an ordinary person to hear. If she hadn't, the guy may have thought she had changed her mind after being coy, and he may have acted without any intent to impose against her will. My contention that labeling him a rapist under the circumstance would be unfair led to an argument over whether rape could be done accidentally. Nobody arguing with me considered the incident from the guy's perspective, and none of them wanted to. But they did decide, because I refused to label the incident rape without further information on the guy's intentions, that the label gray rape was valid. Unfortunately, the debate is lost in the memory hole of defunct materials after the website was revamped to a tabloid-style social blog and all user content was deleted without warning. The Cosmo article, which is still online, describes gray rape as sex that falls somewhere between consent and denial, and is even more confusing than date rape because often both parties are unsure of who wanted what. Of course, that's not an accurate description of the scenario that was offered. Alicia knew what she wanted, or at least what she didn't want, and said so. Kevin knew what he wanted, and so did Alicia because he showed her. The communication failure was with her. She said one thing, but showed another. It's very possible that Kevin didn't know what Alicia wanted, but based on her behavior, thought he did. That lack of communication and lack of certainty afterwards is what feminists are talking about when they use the term gray rape. And that is why I don't consider it a valid term or assessment of the experience. It makes a guy responsible for his date's unclear or self-contradictory communications. With that in mind, we have a short blog post to dig into, wherein Astria has decided to coin her own term. This week on HBR Talk, Alison, Hannah, and Lauren will consider the FemaleDatingStrategy.com blog post, "Yes, ladies, you can be raped and not realize it until weeks later," and its implications. The discussion streams on multiple platforms. You can tune in to the YouTube live stream or find other listening options on HoneyBadgerBrigade.com.